What is going on, AZ Sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday afternoon where we're here to talk some Arizona Cardinals. Now, we're also going to talk about Malcolm Butler, the whole situation that's currently going on. We did get a little bit of updates, nothing really too crazy, but we also want to go ahead and see who is going to be the final 53-man roster, which we should be getting, or the deadline. The deadline was 17 minutes ago. So we should have got the 53-man roster, if not already. They probably are working on getting everything situated, but it was due on it was due on the 1 p.m. AZ time is when it was due. So we should already have it set. Now, do we have the information out? Probably not all the way right now, but we're going to be waiting here to see what it's going to look like and reacting together because honestly, I am as equally as confused and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this Arizona Cardinal team is going to look like from the top, bottom to the 53-man roster. So I'm absolutely super stoked about it, guys. But obviously, one of the biggest things that we want to talk about is going to be the fact that Malcolm Butler, man. Malcolm Butler is still one of the biggest stories here in all of Arizona sports because it's a crazy situation. I would have never expected that this was going to happen. Now, we're not getting into the logistics of, exactly why he's, disgruntled or if it's something like an actual personal issue. But news came out that the Arizona Cardinals were already aware that there was an issue happening in his personal life or with the Cardinals. Like I said, we don't really know the logistics of it, of who's to blame here. But obviously, we're dealing with a cornerback that was supposed to be our number one cornerback. That was supposed to replace Patrick Peterson. And I had the confidence level that he was going to give us more physicality, a better type of play on the field, because let's be honest, boys and gals, when Patrick Peterson was on the field, he wasn't, giving us 110%. I think he was looking out for his next contract, trying to make sure that he got paid, whether it was the Cardinals or another team. We all know how that panned out, but I was really excited to see what Malcolm Butler was going to bring to the table. And this news came out that he hasn't been in the facilities of the Arizona Cardinals for, I believe, at least a week. As of right now. So, but my main concern here is the fact that, if we knew for a week, in terms of, that Malcolm Butler, was either disgruntled or he was dealing with an issue that he was legit contemplating retiring from the NFL. Now, this is a pretty big deal. He must be really, it must be really something really bad between the Arizona Cardinals and himself, or there must be a very serious situation that's happening in his personal life. Now, obviously, if it's the personal life thing, I personally I've always wanted to say, take care of your family first. That's always going to be the number one priority in everybody's mind. Yes, football is, a sport that a lot of us, hold true, and we're really excited about it. And there's sometimes emotions that get the best of us. But I'm one to always say, if it's something to do with your family and there's actually a personal issue going on, deal with that. Definitely deal with it, but we don't really know. We don't really know as to exactly what the main reason as to, Malcolm Butler not being in practice. But we also did get word today from Cliff Kingsbury saying that he still doesn't have an update on Malcolm Butler. And today is supposed to be the day we're supposed to be getting our 53-man roster. And that right there is very, very concerning to me, being that we do not know as of right now what is going to happen with Malcolm Butler. Is very concerning. It's definitely very concerning when it comes down to the logistics of who's going to be our number one cornerback. Now, I know we had a live stream yesterday about, I feel confident that, Byron Murphy might be the guy as far as being our number one. We also have Robert Alford. And then we also have Marco Wilson, which is the rookie 4th round pick out of Florida, which I definitely have high hopes for. I just didn't really want to throw him into the fire like we might have to do. Now, when we get our 53-man roster predictions, when we get our 53-man roster final, I do think that Malcolm Butler will be on that list. It would be really weird to not see him on there, but I don't know, man. I'm hoping somewhere in the background that we were that our front office was working to, they were working hard to maybe see about getting a trade, maybe working hard to really see what we can do to either get depth or somebody that we could put as a number 2 or number 3, something along those lines. Because in this preseason, I really thought that, Marco Wilson was legit, but I saw him more as a fourth like string type of, cornerback where, I saw a lot of flashes. He did very, very good, but I didn't want to throw him into the fire. Not quite yet. But he might be forced to be a number 3 type of cornerback, especially if the Arizona Cardinals really don't do anything. Then they have an opportunity to. I know there's a lot of people saying that the Arizona Cardinals might want to wait till, obviously there's a lot of, roster cuts that are happening right now. There's a lot of veterans that are being released, whether cornerbacks or any other team out there. But I don't know. I'm kind of a little worried about getting people's scraps, if that makes sense. Now, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find like a diamond in the rough. It happens all the time, the kind time signs and stuff like that. I am pretty sure that we will be able to find the diamond in the roughs. But I honestly do think in this kind of situation, the way I look at it is the people that were cut from, the other 31 teams in the NFL, they were cut for a reason. So if we're looking into more of depth, then that's cool. I'm completely fine with maybe getting a player that was cut maybe for depth. And if we want to roll through with Alfred, Byron Murphy, as well as, Marco Wilson, it's going to be a tough task. It's going to be a tough task for our young rookie, especially Marco Wilson. But that might be what we have in store for. Honestly, that might be what we have in store for the Arizona Cardinals here. So let's take a look here. Right now, we're still on the Malcolm Butler watch, what he's going to do. Right now, it's still hush-hush. There's not really much information that's going on other than Cliff Kingsbury doesn't have any other information. And I do think that the media was, speculating like, hey, what are you guys going to do? What is your plan? And Cliff Kingsbury didn't want to speculate. He didn't want to say we're doing this. He didn't want to say we're doing that. But really, knowing this coaching staff and, the front office, it's obvious that they're not going to do that. Like, they were never one to do that. They don't speculate. They like to keep it close to the vest. So I'm not surprised, but I think it's very worrisome. I think it's very, very worrisome that we have the Tennessee Titans in less than 2 weeks away. And that Tennessee Titans roster, that Tennessee Titans wide receiving core, Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, and then King Henry in the back. My freaking goodness. I am worried. Yes, I am worried about it. Now, do I think we're going to be okay? Do I think that we'll be fine? It remains to be seen. I think I'm kind of one of those fans that I'm like, okay, look, if this is what you're gonna, roll with, let's see what it looks like. I mean, that's really all we can do as fans. Put them out there. Who's your best 3, best 4, really just depending on what package you're coming out in defense. But let's see what they're made of. Let's see what Marco Wilson can do. I also know that, Tay Gowan was a big fan favorite. And he put something on Twitter. If you guys weren't aware, he put something on Twitter saying like, thank God or bless God or something like that. But basically with those hands up in the air, kind of indicating that he might be making the 53-man cut. But one thing that goes in with, the Arizona Cardinals, we don't really know. Like, yeah, you can make it, but that doesn't really mean you're safe. That really doesn't mean you're safe when in the grand scheme of things. But this is the latest things that I've heard from, people that are really close to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, these are the latest tweets. I'm sorry. I should have told you guys that up front right now. These are the latest tweets that I went ahead and screenshotted, and I wanted to share to you guys here as well. And in terms of what is going on with Malcolm Butler and all that different stuff. So, first thing here is going to be from Darren Urban. He says, in open practice, Arizona Cardinals, no sign of Malcolm Butler. Not sure how many cuts still need to be made, but still on the field. These are players that are still on the field. That's Chris Strevler, Victor Dimukichi. Hopefully I didn't butcher his name. Wide receiver Anton Wesley, and tight end Demetrius Harris. Also cornerback Tay Gowan. Now, they were on the practice field today. Now, we also have another one from John Wyfus. He says the open portion of Cardinals practice just ended. It looks like they're down to the final 53, but my count, there was 50 players on the field with no Justin Pugh, Malcolm Butler, or Robert Alford. So, obviously, Robert Alford's going through some issues right now. Justin Pugh's also kind of going through the off the field issues, and I mean like the protocol type of stuff. And then we also have the saga of what is going to happen with Malcolm Butler. So the watch still continues as of right now. I am pretty much waiting for the 53-man roster for the Arizona Cardinals to really kind of cut down to the nitty gritty and figure out who's our 53. Who is our 53? Because that is going to be exactly why we're here today. So we can be reacting together and overall just have a good time and figure out, hopefully we can kind of get some sort of news. Because if I was the front office from the Arizona Cardinals, I would be on the phone with a lot of different teams. I know a player that a lot of fans are looking into is Desmond Trufant. He just got released by the Bears not too long ago. I think there was a report probably about 30 minutes, maybe an hour ago, saying that he was released by the Bears. Desmond Trufant, 30 years old, 6 foot. He can very well be that, that veteran cornerback that we might need in our team as of right now, because if we're still kind of up in the air with Malcolm Butler, I think the Arizona Cardinals need to act. Unless the Arizona Cardinals know something a little bit more than what we don't know, which obviously they do. Like this is their organization. They know the ins and outs of everything. But I think the Arizona Cardinals should do everything in their power to try to still build some depth within this Arizona Cardinal roster. Because if they don't, less than 2 weeks away, we have the Tennessee Titans, boys and gals. Less than 2 weeks away, we have the Tennessee Titans. And that wide receiving core is no freaking joke. No freaking joke at all. And honestly, when it comes down to it, the Cardinals should be worried. They absolutely should be worried as of right now with what we have. Now, I know I'm not going to be one to say, Malcolm Butler was, the end all be all when it came down to our secondary. That is Budda Baker. Absolutely. Budda Baker in a nutshell is the secondary in my eyes. He's the heart and soul of the secondary form, in my opinion. But let's be honest here, Malcolm Butler was a pretty good asset coming in here, especially the physicality that he was supposed to be bringing, the tackling, all that different type of stuff that we knew him to be. 7 years in the NFL. This was going to be his 8th year. Now, he did sign 1-year contract with the Arizona Cardinals, which it seems like that might not be the route that he's going to be taking. So we'll see. Still kind of up in the air right now in terms of what Malcolm Butler is going to do. We definitely saw some reports, like I mentioned a little earlier, in terms of him still not being in the facilities as of right now. A couple of things from yesterday. If you guys were not on yesterday's stream, a couple different surprise cuts for the Arizona Cardinals, Keyshawn Johnson being one of them. Super, super weird. And then we went on a spree with just basically releasing a lot of safeties, which in my opinion, I didn't quite get. But I think I understand if they do that, there might be some room for, Isaiah Simmons to possibly very well go back there and play opposite side of Budda Baker. So that can very well be a possibility. Maybe get Jordan Hicks opposite side of David Collins. So it would be cool. I think it would all work out in the grand scheme of things. But we need to figure this out. And we need to figure this out fairly quickly. Now, Desmond Trufant, let's talk about him a little bit. Desmond Trufant would be an awesome asset to the Arizona Cardinals here. Now, I don't think he's going to fix our issues. No, not at all. But I do think that will give us the depth. I think that'll give us the veteranness that could help us out. Could definitely help us out. Now, we also have the option to do a trade. We can do a trade, but you really need to find a team that A, is not in contention, or B, is willing to trade one of their assets. And corners are really, really hard to find. Let me tell you that right now. Corners are really hard to find. So I know there's a lot of people, talking about, hey, maybe getting CJ Henderson. That could be a very well awesome asset to the Arizona Cardinals here. CJ Henderson would be amazing. Now, what would you give up for CJ Henderson? Now, keep in mind, he probably would be a lot cheaper if we acted on this before our news of Malcolm Butler came out. Now that every team out there knows that the Arizona Cardinals is desperate, CJ Henderson might be more expensive than we would want him to be. Now, what would I want to give up for CJ Henderson? Probably a 3rd round pick. maybe a fourth, just really depending on what Jacksonville is willing to give him up for. But keep in mind, he was a first round pick. I'm not sure if they're willing to get anything less than a second or third. I'm not quite sure what their stipulations and what they're requesting themselves. But I was cool with getting rid of a third. Maybe see about giving him the opportunity here. I think he's very, very young. He's early 20s. I believe he's like 22, 23 years old. I liked him in college. I think he would be a great asset, but I do think in the grand scheme of things, now we are kind of over a barrel. We're over a barrel, to put it non-descriptively. I mean, honestly, after this news came out, most teams in the NFL, they know. Most teams in the NFL, they know exactly what we need. And I don't think that there's a team out there that is willing to give us a hometown discount, because why? So now that we are here, trading, to me, I would want that option better. I know we can still get some diamond in the roughs for people that are getting cut. We see it all the time. But I just, there's something about getting rid of, there's something about getting a cornerback that's, other people's don't wants, if that makes sense. Other people's scraps. And I'm not trying to say, I know they're all human beings, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I don't want to put my eggs in a basket to be like, okay, let's figure out to see who other people don't want. I would rather be proactive and get rid of a third rounder, a fourth rounder, something like that to see if we can get a cornerback. And I know, remember, J.C. Jackson was also a player that a lot of Cardinal fans wanted as well. J.C. Jackson was an awesome asset, but as of right now, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, in my opinion. I think the Patriots, in their mind, Mac Jones is their god right now. They just released Cam Newton, and they are going full throttle with with Mac Jones. Now, another player that a lot of people wanted was, Stephon Gilmore. I went live yesterday, and there was at least 3 or 4 people saying, why not Stephon Gilmore? Hey, why not give the opportunity there? If you guys don't know, Stephon Gilmore is now on the PUP list. So that sucks. He is now on the PUP list. So that means that he is on the, unable to perform list. So he is going to have to at least wait 6 weeks before he comes back. I'm sorry. Yeah, he has to wait at least 6 weeks before he can play into the NFL, because he was put on the PUP list from the Patriots. If we do trade for him, we probably won't even see him to week 7. So I don't see the Cardinals doing something like that, because that really isn't going to help us out a lot. That would be more of a mid type of help for the Arizona Cardinals. But man, there's a lot of possibilities here. I hope the front office is coming together, getting together, and really trying to figure out what we can do here, because I think we need to do something before week 1. We need to do something before week 1. Definitely. All right, let's keep on reading. Let's read to the comments here, and let's see what's going on here with the Arizona Cardinals. Let me see if I have the official list of the 53-man roster. Usually they're pretty good in terms of putting it out. If they don't put it out until later on today, no worries. I'll just make another video about it. No big deal. As of right now, I'm not seeing anything on their website. I can definitely scroll through Twitter to see what we can do. But I do see you there. Big Sugar, is it Big Sugar Bar? Is that what it? Lattimore, yeah, Lattimore might be a very intriguing option now. I know that one of the main things in terms of like why I didn't want Lattimore is because I know he was going to come with a very steep price, and he was going to want to get paid. He was going to want to get paid pretty good. But at this point, desperate calls for desperate measures. Why not get somebody like Lattimore? But I don't think that that's going to be an option for the Arizona Cardinals, if I can be absolutely realistic. But maybe CJ Henderson. Because he was on the trading block. There was like a source that came out there saying that he was going to be, or at least the Jacksonville Jaguars were really trying to move him or put him in the trade block or something along those lines. So we need to figure out what we're going to do, because week 1 is coming, and week 1 is coming fast. So not only that, week 1 is against the Tennessee Titans. I think everybody knows that. Week 2 is going to be against the Vikings. So the Vikings is nothing to sneeze at as well. Their wide receiving core is pretty darn good. If they have Stephon Diggs, I would throw myself off a freaking bridge because I know that would only make it better. But if you take a look at their wide receiving core, they got Justin Jefferson, which second year young player, looked very, very good in his rookie year. And they got Adam Thielen. I think Adam Thielen is a very, very good wide receiver still, especially if he gets the opportunity. So I need the Cardinals to hopefully act on something here, because if you're going to ask me what do I want the Cardinals to do, I think CJ Henderson would probably be my favorite option. It just sucks because this news came out. The Cardinals were fully aware at least a week ago before the news came out, because Malcolm Butler didn't come to, the facilities in a week, at least a week, they said. So it might very be longer than that week that we were told per sources. So my only thing is, I wish that we did something prior to this news coming out, because CJ Henderson would be a lot cheaper than he would be now. Pretty much right now, we are over a barrel. Two options. Like I said, we can take a look to see who gets released by those other teams out there. And that might be what the Arizona Cardinals might do, because kind of knowing them, I think that might be what they do. They're going to take a look to see who was the players that other teams didn't want, see if that works out. Maybe we can get a diamond in the rough, or we can do a trade. But if you trade, you're going to be paying more than you would like to. So keep that in mind as well, ladies and gentlemen. We put ourselves in this predicament, almost kind of similar to the whole Josh Rosen thing, when his value completely went down. And I'm so surprised we even got a second round pick for Josh Rosen, because his value did go down. And I think we had to completely beg the Miami Dolphins to take him for the second rounder, in which there was a second rounder. It wasn't even his first second rounder. So it was almost an early third to a late second rounder that we ended up, trading Josh Rosen for. I'm just glad we got something for him, but kind of something similar like that, where I just hope we were a little bit more proactive when it came down to it, because now we're sitting here and I know a lot of fans are in panic mode. I'm in panic mode because I don't like the Julio Jones. I don't like the A.J. Brown's matchup between, Alford. I think Byron Murphy might be able to hold it down if he's a number one, if he's a number two, just really depending. I would obviously put him on the outside more than anything, and maybe try Marco Wilson in the slot because that guy is a rookie, man. He's going to struggle. So we will have to see what happens with the Arizona Cardinals. We will have to wait to see what happens with the Arizona Cardinals as of right now. But just to go ahead and bring this back up right now, latest tweets from the Arizona Cardinals that was earlier today, latest tweets that we ended up getting was this. Now, Darren Urban is a guy who basically works very, very close to the Arizona Cardinals. He automatically said that Malcolm Butler wasn't there again in practice. There was no sign of Malcolm Butler. There was some players on the field which I thought might get cut, like Chris Stremler, Victor Dimukichi, and I'm pretty sure I butchered that. I'm actually really excited that Anton Wesley was on the field. Demetrius Harris, I thought he was going to get cut as well. Tay Gowan, I was hoping he was going to be in the 53-man roster, and he was on the field today, which is a very, very good sign. John Weinfist says the open portion of Cardinals practice just ended. Looks like they're down to the final 53, but by my count, and who was on the field was 50, because they were missing Justin Pugh, Malcolm Butler, as well as Robert Alford. So a lot of stuff to unfold here, guys. A lot of stuff to unfold here. The Arizona Cardinals did not make it easy for ourselves. Let me tell you that right now. We did not make it easy for ourselves. I wish that we would have planned this a lot better, but here we are. I wish that we planned this a lot better, but here we are. I don't see any official 53-man roster list as of right now. I'm scrolling through Twitter. I'm scrolling through a lot of different things here on my end, and I'm still not seeing anything. Now, if you guys can let me know right now, if you do have it, let me know where you found it so we can go ahead and dive into it together to see what is going on with the Arizona Cardinals, who made the official 53-man roster from the team. But as of right now, I am not seeing anything on, any social medias. But if you guys do have it or have anywhere that you can, let me know, put it on the comments or just let me know in the comments here below. But big shout out to everybody that's currently in the stream. Sergio, what's up, dude, man? Thank you so very much for showing up. We got Ben, we got Dylan, we got Jordan P up in the house. We got MMVV. What's up, dude? Thanks so much for being here. I am Bear coming up clutch again, making an appearance again. Ben, let's go ahead and take it to the comments here while we wait. Ben, my guy, says our pass rush is going to need to feast week 1 to help out our secondary. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Now, I'm actually glad that our I feel like our defensive line has gotten better, especially with, Chandler Jones coming back from injury. I think we're equally just dynamite. J.J. Watt, hopefully Jordan Phillips, participates in some sacks. Zach Allen, Marcus Golden, and then we got those young players, which is Licky Fotu as well as Rashard Lawrence if they do make the roster. But yeah, I'm excited, man. And Dennis Gardick, I always forget. I don't know why I always forget to put him on the list. But we'll see. We will see what happens here with the whole, Malcolm Butler watch. As of right now, I wish I had more information that I can bring to you guys right now, but they're all keeping it hush-hush. It's all hush-hush right now with the Arizona Cardinals organization, and I can see where they're coming from. I just need to see some sort of plan. Like, that would be great because we need it. We need it. Sergio, what's up, dude? He says, would you be willing to trade Chandler Jones if he still wants to train for a cornerback number 1? Wow, that's a great question, man. I'd say, well, yeah, it just depends. Like it really just depends. And I think the best person to answer this would probably be Steve Keim, because if Chandler Jones is ready to play and he wants to be a Cardinal, nah. Not at all. I think keep him in here. Let him feast. Let him work for the next contract because he's looking for the next big payday. And I do think that he's going to show out today. I think he's going to do a very, very good job in showing out today. One thing about Chandler Jones, which I'm super glad that he didn't do, was he didn't hold out. So thankfully that didn't happen, but I wouldn't. I like Chandler Jones too much. I think he brings a lot more to this defensive line than just him. I mean, his name is huge. So I wouldn't do it personally. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Let's keep on reading into the comments here. Not Mario, what's it do? He says, let's just give away our first round pick. Rams don't have any and their defense is good. That's fair, man. That's fair. What I think the Cardinals are going to do, which I'm not really happy with, honestly, I think they might stick it through with the top 3. They're going to look to see who's available, who gets cut, like your Desmond Trufant. I know there's a lot of people, Cardinal fans already looking that way. They're already saying, oh my God, Desmond Trufant is, has been released by the Bears. Jump on him, get him. As of right now, boys and girls, I think we're just looking for depth. That's what it is. I think we're looking for depth. They might be fine with rolling with Alford. I'm just concerned. I'm concerned with what Robert Alford. Can he stay healthy? Can he stay off the IR? Because I think that's right there. That right there is what would extremely concern me, is if we cannot keep Robert Alford healthy. Because if that's the case, watch the heck out. Byron Murphy, love him. Great. Progressing very well, especially since they're going to put him on the outside, or at least giving him some reps on the outside, which I'm happy with. Marco Wilson had a showing, man. Marco Wilson had a very good showing, which I'm really, very excited about. But Robert Alford is really the only one that scares me. E.G. Bio, 100%. Alford is going to be rusty. Yeah, that's not even to mention Robert Alford, although he's made it through training camp, in terms of not being on the IR, Robert Alford has not played in 2 years, boys and gals. 2 years. 1, 2. He hasn't played in 2 years. Now, obviously, the training camp information that we were given was, they were giving him glowing remarks. Oh, Robert Alford is awesome. He looks good. But I think in the grand scheme of things, him not playing for 2 years is a bigger deal than a lot of people aren't really paying attention to. He might have heavy legs. He might get tired a lot quicker than we would like him to. But here we are right now as Arizona Cardinal fans. What is your level of concern? Give me the number between 1 to 10. 10 being I am extremely concerned about our defensive cornerback situation. Let me know in the comments below right now. That's my question for you guys right now, because we're still on the Malcolm Butler watch. What is the Arizona Cardinals going to do to to make up for Malcolm Butler if he decides to retire? So right now, let me know what's your comfort level. 10 being I am extremely not like I'm scared. Like 10 means I am fearful. 1 means it's okay, we'll be fine. Malcolm Butler was cool asset, but it's a meh type of stuff. So let me know in the comments below. I'll go ahead and give you some quick shout outs once you guys answer that question, and then we'll move on. I still do not see the 53-man roster anywhere. We were supposed to be getting it by 1 p.m. AZ time. I know that this has happened last time as well, where it actually took a lot longer. It actually was to like 3 p.m. or like 4 p.m. AZ time when they actually gave it to us. So that might happen in terms of are we going to get it? Are we going to get it during this live stream? We probably won't, but we'll see. All right, we got some people coming up here right now. James Rios, what's up, dude, man? Thanks so much for coming in. He says a 10. He says trade for Gilmore. So, James, I don't know if you're completely aware, but James, let's say James Gilmore, Stephon Gilmore was actually put on the PUP list by the Patriots. What that means is he was put on the unable to perform list, and he has to be on there for at least 6 weeks. He has to be on there for at least 6 weeks. So even if the Cardinals did train for Stephon Gilmore, even if he did trade for Stephon Gilmore, we wouldn't even see him on the field until week 7, which is very, very concerning. But hey, if you're cool with that, then hey, we'll see what happens. But we got some other people saying 50yo says 8. The Cardinal World, what's up, dude? Thanks for being here. He says 4. Okay. Cedric says 8. Red Sea says 7.5. I Am Bear says 4. Deathly Moon says 6. MMV completely fine. He's like, I'm a 1, bro. I'm chilling right now. Malcolm Butler, who's Malcolm Butler? That's what my guy MMV is saying. MMVV, sorry. Yeah, man. Well, this is what it's going to come down to, man. Is the Cardinals going to do something? Is the Cardinals going to do something? Now, the options that we were given, a little earlier in the stream, let's wait it out. Let's see who other teams cut. That might be what the route that the Cardinals are going to go. Who is the Arizona Cardinals? I'm sorry, not Cardinals, but who is the other teams, the other 31 teams in the NFL? Who are they going to cut? Can the Cardinals poach them? Desmond Trufant might be the biggest one so far right now that a lot of fans want us to go towards. But my main kind of concern, my main this had to happen was why didn't we try? Like, why couldn't we make a move earlier, guys? Like, that's where my main level of frustration kind of comes from, because the Cardinals knew a week before this source came out and said that Malcolm Butler was considering retiring due to a personal issue. The Arizona Cardinals knew a week before because Malcolm Butler has not been in the facility for at least 1 week. He has not been in the facility for at least 1 week. So right there, if I was Steve Keim, I would automatically say, what am I going to do? I would be getting on the phone with, Jacksonville and say, hey, how much you want for CJ Henderson? That type of stuff. Because now that this news came out that, we are in desperate need of a cornerback number 1, there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be like that was willing to give us maybe CJ Henderson for a 3rd rounder, 4th rounder. That's easily going to be a 2nd rounder because we waited. And like I said, this reminds me of the whole Josh Rosen thing. Although we got a late 2nd round pick or a second round pick from the Dolphins, I think we probably could have gotten better if we didn't get Kyler Murray in terms of the 1st round. And then we were like, oh, let's shop them around. I think we need to be better planners. I get that, there's the level of, I want to make sure that this pans out the way that I want it to pan out. And sometimes it's beyond your control. If you do a trade and you're holding on for this, but this is kind of one of those things where if we are going to be trading for a cornerback, we're going to be paying a lot more than we would like to. And that might be the fault of the front office, because we're sitting here right now, a lot of fans, because if I were to gauge the fans that were giving me the numbers, I would say more people are +5 and above than people are, sub 5 and below. So there we are. There we are. What are the Arizona Cardinals going to do? I know Richard Sherman is also a player that a lot of people are naming out there as well. I don't think Richard Sherman's going to come. The biggest reason for that is because I think the Arizona Cardinals front office, Michael Bidwell, Steve Keim, I think they're too buttoned up. They're too buttoned up to get Richard Sherman because of obviously the situation that happened when he was banging on the door and trying to break somebody's face open and stuff like that. So I think it might be too early. I don't think it's going to happen for Sherman. I don't know what I was going to say too early, but I think it's not going to happen for Sherman. I really don't. He might be one of the best options available. He might be. You might be right there, but I don't think it's going to happen. James Reels, what's up, my guy? Coming back clutch again. This all falls on Steve Keim's shoulders. And that's my thing, man. And that's my concern is like, one of the things is like, we need to be proactive. Like we need to, like the front office needed to be proactive in this situation. And I'm pretty sure the Arizona Cardinals front office, they know, is he coming back? Is he not coming back? Unless it's something completely personal, like let's say, for example, somebody really got sick, maybe his wife, maybe his kid, maybe somebody got into a really bad accident. Maybe if it's something completely personal in his personal life, I'm right there with you, Arizona Cardinals. I'm right there with you. I'll give the guy some time, grieve, all that different stuff. But I think it's something a little more. I personally think that this is something more of a disgruntledness towards the Arizona Cardinals for this reason, and this reason alone. Malcolm Butler has scrubbed anything Arizona Cardinals on his Instagram and on his Twitter. If something was happening in his personal life, I don't think he would do that. I don't think he would go to his Instagram and take everything down from the Cardinals. I don't think he would go down to any social medias and take everything down from the Arizona Cardinals. This right here is either Malcolm Butler being pissed off at the Arizona Cardinals for whatever situation, vaccine, no vaccine, I don't care. This is not politics. We're not getting into it. But I think the Cardinals they know by now. They know exactly what's going on, and we need to figure out what the heck we are going to do. If we're rolling with the top three already, then okay. We can roll with the three. Murphy, Alford, and Marco Wilson. We can roll with the three. But ladies and gentlemen, Byron Murphy primarily played slot. If he goes on the outside, then he's gonna have some trouble. Hopefully he doesn't. Robert Alford, his 3-year contract, he was hurt 2 years. He hasn't played official regular season game in 2 years. Robert Alford. Number 3, Marco Wilson. I loved what I seen from Marco Wilson, but Marco Wilson is a rookie. In my eyes, coming into the 53-man roster, I knew Marco Wilson had potential. I saw him and I was like, dude, this guy looks good. This guy looks very, very good, but I saw him more as a fourth. Give him 2, 3, 4 more weeks, and I think he would come in here and he would look dynamite. But we're throwing him into the fire. We're throwing him to maybe possibly cover Julio Jones, maybe possibly covering A.J. Brown, maybe possibly covering, Justin Jefferson, maybe possibly covering, what's the other guy's name? Adam Thielen in week 2. That right there is my concern. The level of why didn't we plan this better? And this is not the first time I'm asking, why didn't we plan this better from our front office? Malcolm Butler is obviously not happy with the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously. Let me show you this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you this. If you guys haven't been on his Instagram, I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. If you can see this, this is Malcolm Butler's official Instagram page. He's got Titans. What is it called? New England Patriots. Anything that he had on here from the Arizona Cardinals has been scrubbed away. You know what his bio says? Malcolm Butler, CB. Nothing Arizona Cardinals. Everything is gone. This is his Instagram page, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to ask me right now, this is something to do with Malcolm Butler and the Arizona Cardinals. There's a disgruntledness going on, and we need to figure out what in the living heck are we going to do. Because although I'm cool. I'm cool with starting the three that we have, but we're going to be in trouble. Our defensive line is going to have to work doubly hard. They're going to have to work triple hard because that's just what it comes down to, boys and gals. That's what it comes down to. Robert Alford is awesome, especially when we picked him up 2 years ago. I was happy about it. I was. But Robert Alford has not played a regular season game in 2 years. There is going to be rust that comes along with it. It's just the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the beast. All right, let's keep on reading into the comments here. Let's take a look here. What's going on? Let me do a quick search here real quick right now and really take a look to see if we have a 53-man roster right now. Usually, like I said, I don't think we're going to be getting it, although it should have been posted at 1 p.m. AZ time. I know that, sometimes it takes a lot longer, unfortunately. So let me just do one quick square up here real quick of social media to see if we have our 53-man roster. But right now, I'm not seeing anything on there. And if you guys weren't aware as well, Cliff Kingsbury did have a press conference today. It's just typical stuff, press conference every time, the cuts happen. And he said that he has no updates on Robert Alford, and he has not talked to Robert Alford as well. So there is that. There is that. Now, I'm not expecting Cliff Kingsbury to call Robert Alford and be like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, are you coming back? Are you not? That's the job of the front office. That's the job of the front office to do that. Cliff Kingsbury has way more things to keep in mind and what he needs to do. He's got too much things on his plate right now. He needs to worry about week 1. That's what he needs to worry about. But yeah, so I don't expect Cliff Kingsbury to be calling Butler at all. Oh, did I say Alford? My bad. No, my bad. Sorry. I don't expect him to be calling Butler. My bad. I don't expect him to be calling Butler and say, hey, bro, what are you going to do? That's the job of the front office. All right, let's keep on reading onto the comments here. Yes, I did say Alfred. My bad. That's me. Appreciate it. That's why I love going live, because I got like 12 people being like, bro, you're wrong. Love it. All right, let's keep on reading into the comments here. Ben, what's up, dude? Says, if it's an issue with the front office and Butler wants out, he needs to let the Cardinals know. Definitely. If it's a personal grudge, he needs to be professional and let us know. Yeah, I agree. I'm right there with you, man. Right there with you. I think that we are in a situation where it's like, as Cardinal fans, we want this to play out a certain way because it's the benefit of us. You know what I mean? We're Cardinal fans. We want it to be A, B, C, D, and E, F, G. This is the best way to do it. But it just sucks because in a perfect world, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If he is disgruntled with the Arizona Cardinals, man, he was one of the top tier, man. He was one of the top tier free agency pickups that we ended up picking up. And if this happens to us, sheesh. Let me tell you this right now, freaking sheesh. Yeah, so here we go. All right, guys, if you guys have not yet already, definitely do me one big favor. Smash that like button. If you guys are just getting in here and tuning into the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, we are just talking all things Malcolm Butler, and we are on the Malcolm Butler watch, trying to see if there's any new information on Malcolm Butler, what is going on with him, and is he coming back to play against the Titans? I would honestly hope that he would want to come play with the Titans, because let's be honest, that was his team. He was with the Titans for, a few years. So I would think that he would want to come out. But no. RC3 coming up, clutch. Appreciate you, my guy. Let me get my guy RC3 coming up here. 1 second. Let me bring you up. Let me take this down. No, I'll leave that up there. He says, when are you opening the lines again? We can possibly very well do it. Let's see, what time is it? Let me look at the clock here real quick. I think let's do this. Let's designate this last portion, last 15 minutes of the show. Let's open up the phone lines. My guy RC, hashtag RC3 on the comments below if you guys have not yet already. Let's open up the phone lines. Let's do that. Let's figure out to see what's going on, how you guys are feeling. Are you not worried? If you guys want to get onto the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube and voice your concerns, all you need to do is add me on Instagram. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. And everything is in the comment and the description of this video. There's a link. You can click right into it and it'll take you over to what you need to get to. So if you click on the link, it'll take you to my Instagram. Shoot me a follow and send me a DM and say, hey, I want to get onto the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. I'll send you a link, turn your camera on, and you should be able to get on. So if you want to get on, come on through. And we should be able to get you on. We have 15 minutes. 14 minutes now to see if we can open up the phone lines. I will probably be, possibly be, what's the word? Be limiting you guys. Keep in mind, I will be limiting you guys in terms of like, just making sure that a lot of people have a fair opportunity to kind of come on here as well. So keep that in mind. I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything like that. It's just, I want to see if we can get as much people on here as possible. So keep that in mind. So the question that you will be answering when you do get on here is, are you worried about the Arizona Cardinals cornerbacks? And how are you going to fix it? That's the question. Nothing else. Your question here is, are you worried about the Arizona Cardinals cornerbacks? And what would you do to fix it? If you don't want to fix it, no worries. You can tell me that your comfort level is a 1, and that's completely fine. So add me on Instagram. It is on the description of this video. Send me a DM and say, hey, I want to get on. I'll send you a link, and you should be able to get onto the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. And we will be ending the show like this. So keep that in mind. 1 second here. 1 second, my guy. All right, I'm going to start sending the links out right now. Just FYI, give me about 30 seconds of your time. Sorry for the silence. All right, almost done. Perfect. Okay, link has been sent out to a few different subscribers. Let's get this going here right now. Like I said, guys, one question that you have, the one question that you have is, are you worried about the Arizona Cardinals roster? I'm sorry, not roster. Are you worried about the Arizona Cardinals group? And what would you do to fix it? That's it. Keep it short. We're going to go ahead and try to get as much people as we possibly can on here. So keep that in mind. All right, I'm sending some links out right now. Like I said a little earlier, if you guys want to get onto the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, just add me on Instagram. We are opening up the phone lines. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I think it's absolutely very important to get this, to get your guys' voices on here. All right, I got my first guy coming up here right now. I got RC3 in the background, but I'm waiting for his either camera or his device to be connected. So we'll give him a little bit. And we'll see what the comfort level of the Red Sea is at this very moment. All right, let's take a look here. Let's check my Instagram. Here we go. I got my guy. I see you, RC. Let me get you up in here right now. Give me a second, RC. RC3, you are on Butler Watch, man. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling?
The usual. Fire Steve Keim, the normal. The normal thing I always usually say. I just want to say hello, everybody. Good evening, and also to you, AZ Sports Fan, congratulations. I've been out for a little bit. So I clearly said, and I guess my comments got mixed up with somebody that's there. I'm good for correcting things.
For sure.
So I really want to talk to the guy, AZ Cardinals fan that I said there. If you can find what I actually said, that I said trade Chandler Jones, then I will cash app you $20. No problem. But the same note, I said that we have a lot of linebackers that's there. Everybody keeps saying we need a pass rush. We need this. We need that. Let's be honest. Right now would be the best thing to do right now. If we're not going to give Jordan Hicks money, we're not going to give Chandler Jones money. I say we pay Chandler Jones, but still trade Jordan Hicks. Because now who we have as our lead and go-to guy as our corners. Remember, we have injuries. So are we going to go with Alfred, the guy that hasn't played in 2 years, who might get injured again? We got AJ Green, who plays on wide receiver. We got him thinking that he's going to have a stellar year, and this guy's still showing off and on with his lingering injuries. So do we still sit here and we depend on these guys? I said go for the Lattimore, the J.C. Jackson, the C.J. Henderson, because Jacksonville will trade as long as it's right. The depth is real big when it comes to corners and everything coming towards next year.
Right.
So this is why everybody here, we're the only team in our division with a first-round pick. So we can keep our pick. It don't matter if we trade our second or whatever. We can double, multiple, whatever, because nobody really has Cliff Kingsbury in their mindset of being here next year. Nobody has Steve Keim being here next year. The whole package is gone. So we never know what's actually going to happen between them two, because I'm calling it and I'm declaring it right now. The best record that we possibly going to have, maybe 10-6. Maybe 11-5. I'm going to say something in between that. And the reason why I said that, the Rams has injuries. What's his name that came over there? Stafford just came over there. He's known for getting sacked no matter what. So now you got to play the team to go over there to get sacked all over again twice. So now it's like we're going to sit there and we'll go with Trey Lance. The guy's the future hope. Garoppolo who isn't showing no help. Everybody's not looking at that. But the only thing that's surviving right now, that's the fan favorite, is the 49ers winning the division, because this 49ers is the only upkept team right now that has the best defense right now in that division. And that's a guaranteed fact right there. No matter who they got at quarterback, it's who they got at defense. Yeah. So if we don't get our corners together, the first game, remember the guy we try to fight for, Julio Jones, and we still got Henry that we got to worry about. We still got the other wide receiver over there that's in the Titans. Thank you. Yep. So my thing is, okay, Tay Gowan has a good game, but people are not looking at the depth of injuries. We don't have a leadership at corner that's going to help us. Alfred is not a leader. He's a talker. Nobody can sit there and tell you how to play on the field if they haven't been playing on the field. So what are we going to do? Yeah. This is the issue, and this is the problems that we actually have. So I'm still saying it. RC3 for GM. We still need to get this going. Put Mike as the president.
I missed you, man. It's been an absolute minute, man, since you've been here. But
yeah, man,
you're busy with life.
Yeah, definitely it is. And like I said, I had a couple of family members. I spoke to Red Sea. I spoke to Mark Jackson. Shout out to these guys. They've been actually keeping up with me with everything too. So, it's been a lot of death in the family. So that's why I've been going for a minute. But but I'm glad to be here. Mike, I'm glad to be here as a supporter, and I'm glad you're giving everybody a platform to actually talk and speak how they feel. But tell the guy AZ Cardinals, I'm still waiting on it, and the Cash App is ready. The $20 is in. So let me know.
Love it. Got it. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, RC, man. Have a good one.
All
right, man. And yeah, I love it. He gives you the real, man. And I'm not the only one saying these type of stuff as well. When it comes down to this, my guy RC3 has been here since, a couple years on this channel now, speaking some good stuff. Now, obviously, I would want this team to be more than 10 wins, but I see this as a 10-win team as well, maybe 11-win team, but that's very optimistic. Obviously, I'm an optimistic as they come type of person, and I would want this Arizona Cardinal team to be in the playoffs, and I feel like that's what you would need to do. You need to have at least 10 wins in this NFC West to scrape your way into the wild card spot. In order for you to win this division, you might need 13, 14 wins. Let's be honest here. At least. So we're in this situation right now, man. We need to figure out what we're going to do. We need to figure out what we're going to do as AZ fans, Cardinal fans. We need to get together and say, Steve Keim, front office, we knew about Robert Alford a week ago because he has not been in the facilities for at least 1 week. We knew about this. Why didn't we act? Why did we wait until now the whole NFL knows, the old NFL knows that we need a cornerback because Malcolm Butler is contemplating retirement. And let's be honest here, guys, if my comfort level, if he's going to retire, I would give you an 80 to 85%. I think he was going to retire. 80 to 85%, I believe Malcolm Butler will retire. There's no way in heck that a player is going to scrub their social media off of anything Arizona Cardinals if he wasn't disgruntled with the organization. And that right there is not even talking about how, getting rid of Steve Keim. I'm just being completely honest here. No hate to Steve Keim. We will be talking Steve Keim later into the season. I promise you, we will be talking about Steve Keim later on into the season. But this is where they need to show up right here. Do another thing. Let's not wait for people that are getting cut. These are obviously players that are not making the 53-man roster from other teams. That is a known fact. They did not make their 53-man roster. Why are we going in there and trying to pick up the scraps? Let's do something. Let's be proactive. Let's see if we can get a CJ Henderson. Desmond Trufant, if we do end up getting him, I wouldn't be mad. But he definitely would be a lot more depth than anything, in my personal opinion, because all we're waiting for is, hopefully, fingers crossed, hallelujah, let's wait. Let's hope that Robert Alford can stay healthy. That's what we need to do. We need to proactively do something. Steve Keim, I know you're not listening. I know you're super busy with everything that you're doing in life. But please be proactive. Let's see if we can go ahead and do something. I prefer a trade. If you need to get rid of a second rounder, a third rounder, I'm all in game. I'm all game for it. First rounder, no, I'm not cool with it unless you get a freaking high caliber type player. But I'm cool with getting rid of a second. I'm cool with getting rid of a third, as long as we can build some more players in here, maybe giving us a solid number 2, solid number 3, or maybe even a solid number 1. But solid number 1, in my personal opinion, like a really, really high top tier level type player, you're going to be spending multiple first rounders. So that's why I'm saying number 2, because hopefully Byron Murphy can make that jump. Let's keep on reading to the comments here. We will be shutting this down here probably within the next 2.5 minutes, just FYI. Let me see if there's any DMs. I'm surprised. We usually get a lot of people trying to get onto the show. I'm surprised nobody wants to get on, but no worries. But yeah, there we are. Red Sea, what's up, dude? He says, still waiting on the 53-man roster. Thanks for the update, man. I'm constantly refreshing the website. I'm constantly refreshing Twitter. I'm constantly refreshing Facebook. Everything right now, I still do not see anything about the 53-man roster. Still don't. If I were to be honest with you guys, I think we're going to be getting it maybe 3 p.m., maybe even 4 p.m. AZ time, in my personal opinion, because I remember this happened last year. I think it was last year, that this ended up happening. So I can see it happening again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be ending this stream here. The Malcolm Butler saga, the Malcolm Butler watch continues. I'm only hoping that we would be getting our information within the next few days, maybe in a week or so, because we need to get this resolved. Everybody do me one big favor, put some fist bumps on the chat below. Definitely go ahead, fist bumps, all that different stuff. That's usually how we go ahead and end some live streams, guys. Thanks to everybody for showing up on this podcast of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cards.